Patrick McDermott, and this is my Unit 5 mid-unit assignment. Question 1 asks, determine an equation for the family of quartic functions with zeros -5/2, -1, 7/2, and 3. 1a says write equations for two functions that belong to this family. So I have the zeros up here written down, my original function from these, and I have two functions that belong to this family, being 3 times 2x plus 5 times x plus 1 times 2x minus 7 times x minus 3, and -2 with the same other variables. 1b asks, determine an equation for the member of the family whose graph passes through the point -2, 25. I have that here. I've written out my original equation and substituted in 25 and -2. Then once you expand and finish that, you get 25 over -55, and a times -55 over -55, which gets you with -55 over 11 equals a, which can be factored down to -5 over 11. So therefore, the equation for this member of the family whose graph passes through the point -2, 25 is y equals -5 over 11 times 2x plus 5 times x plus 1 times 2x plus 7 times x minus 3. 1c asks, sketch a graph of the functions in part A and B. So as you can see, I've done that here. Right here, the first one in red is the most recent -5 over 11 function. As you can see, it goes from here, it goes up and out, down towards the bottom, passing through the graph, up reaching here, and finally finishing there. I have the next one written in blue, which is the -2 function. As you can see, it goes from over here, it overlaps with this point and this point, going back down here, up again over the graph, and finishing back down. Finally, I have the 3 form of my function, as previously mentioned, with it being a pencil, with it being sort of opposite to the blue function in a sense, as instead of starting from the bottom, it starts from the top, goes down and back up, down, and finishes at the top. Question 2 asks, the distance d in kilometers traveled by a plane for t hours can be represented by d at t equals -4 cubed plus 40t squared plus 500t, where 0 is less than or equal to t and t is less than or equal to 0. I have my function right here, the original function that was given to me. I substituted 4088 for d and t, and at that point, I just started doing guess and check with certain variables inputted. As you can see, for the first one, it did not work where I tried inputting 3. I ended up with 1752, which is not the desired amount that I wanted. I then tried 5, which also did not give me the amount I wanted, but it was getting closer. And finally, with 7, it did work out and materialized with it giving me 4088, which is the number that I wanted. So therefore, having that variable worked, it took the plane 7 hours to fly 4,088 kilometers. Number 3 asks, write an equation for the rational function which graphs all the indicated features, with the indicated features being x-intercept of -4, y-intercept of -2, vertical asymptote with equation x equals 2, and horizontal asymptote with equation y equals 1. I have all of the information written down here, and using all that information, I was able to get the final function of f at x equals x plus 4, which I get from there, and x minus 2, which I had from the vertical asymptote, with all of this information being found in my equation. Thank you.